This is Joshua Woodman with Metromix Orlando, sitting down with George Takei of Star Trek fame, and currently starring on Heroes as Hero's father. All right. Do you have a favorite cocktail?
Yes.
What is that?
Cosmopolitan.
Okay. And what type of...
My mother's favorite, I occasionally have. She liked what she called a bocce ball. That's a combination of orange juice and amaretto, that liqueur.
Nice.
Very sweet.
Yes.
It's a little, I'm discovering it's a little tad bit too sweet for me.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
And my doctor told me recently that I'm pre-diabetic.
Oh, no.
So
Okay.
no more amaretto. I mean, no more bocce balls. And I'm told that cranberry juice has a lot of antioxidants and a lot of vitamin E, and they taste great.
Yep. Cranberry and vodka is my drink. So, in fact, I drink a little bit too much.
That's not good either. Just a little bit.
A little bit of a beer gut.
Well, you do your sit-ups then.
I
Crunches.
was going to ask you, how do you keep in such great shape? Cause
Well, I work out regularly every day.
every day.
I used to run marathons,
Right.
but the last marathon I ran was 1991, my worst marathon, and that's what got me to thinking. You know, we run for our health, not to break down
Sure,
our bodies.
sure.
So I don't run marathons anymore, but I do at least half an hour of jogging in the morning,
Sure.
and then I do 100 push-ups and 50 sit-ups while
Yes.
watching the Today Show. Multitasking.
Yeah, you got to multitask. It's a new world. You got to multitask everywhere.
Absolutely.
And at the risk of sounding like James Lipton, what type of music does George Takei find exciting?
Well, I'm pretty omnivorous with music. I love classical music. I'm a season subscriber to the LA Philharmonic. I also like Frank Sinatra. I also like country western. And I am absolutely, wide open in my, except hip-hop. And all this chanting kind of music, or chanting that they call music nowadays, I just don't get that. But then I guess I'm sounding more like my father and grandfather did.
And I'm going to go a little further, taking Mr. Lipton's questions. What turns you on?
What turns me on? I'm a sensualist, erotic provocations, delicious aromas, something that has tactile feelings. I'm a sense-oriented person. And of course, as we were saying, music,
Sure.
what you hear. What I hear, smell, taste, and the other senses.
And conversely, what turns you off?
Boorishness, thoughtlessness, cruelty, I was going to say stupidity because I was thinking of George Bush, but some kind of stupidity, you kind of take pity on, because they don't know any better.
It gets to a point of ignorance.
Yeah, but it's pretty difficult to pity George Bush.
It is.
That kind of stupidity that inflicts such pain and anguish. And, he's a Republican. And, I have some good friends that are Republicans that I admire and I agree with on some of the issues. For example, fiscal responsibility is a very important issue with the Republicans. And I subscribe to that.
Sure.
George Bush is not a Republican. Because, when his administration started, he had a surplus from the previous administration. And he plunged us into the most, the deepest deficit situation in the history of this country. His spending has been absolutely profligate. Some bridges to nowhere, those kind of things.
Sure.
That is sure, it came out of Congress, but it, it's something that he allowed to get to that point. He has been a totally fiscally irresponsible president. And that's why we're having the economic difficulties that we're having right now. The subprime mortgages that's troubling us, that's because the oversight by this administration has been so incompetent, so derelict.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, George. I've really appreciated your time.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to drag out my soapbox.
We love soapboxes. With Metromix Orlando, this is Joshua Woodman and George Takei. Thanks for tuning in.